How are we doing tonight, everybody? It's been a while. Hopefully, everything's coming through in the sound wise and video wise. If there's any issues, let me know in the chat. I'd really appreciate it. Uh, it's been a while, so been super busy. You know, it's summertime. Did the 4th of July thing. Blew some stuff up. Luckily, I got all my digits still. Um, Sold my daily driver and been in the process of looking for a new one. Oh my, the price of vehicles, trucks particularly, have gone just wild. Um, yeah, I can't even remotely fathom how high they've gotten. It's just insane. Uh, but so I've been driving the car. I have a 2010 Dodge Challenger SRT 8, and it's parked in the garage most of the time. It's 18,000 miles on it. So I've been driving that and kind of trying to get a good deal on a truck uh, to replace the daily driver. And it's just a process, takes time, as anything does. Um, well, if you didn't notice in the thumbnail, we're going to do some unboxing tonight of the components that are going to be used in a upcoming build, no, it's not really upcoming anymore. We're going to start it. We may get started on some of it tonight, but we're going to go through. We're going to talk about what my plans are. There are definitely some pretty big hints in the thumbnail. Um, and the way I plan to do this, I want to do this with the community and you guys out there in the YouTube world. So um, I have a tight schedule. I don't know. It's going to take a little bit of time to do this mod. It's a little more expansive, but it is also a rather simple one. There's just some different components to it. So I think what we're going to do is just when I get time, I'm going to go live. It may be at 4 in the morning, and I'm going to go live for 20 minutes while I do speakers, as an example. Um, so, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you can get those notifications, ring that bell. That way you won't miss any part of this. This is an exciting one. I'm really pumped about it. So, what in the world am I up to? Well, let me lay it on you a little bit here. That's right. I'm going to be doing a Guitar Hero build. Now, I'm not going to have this exact shape. I plan to be using an II arcade. Now, I have one. It's not this exact II arcade. It's their original one. A lot of people call it their Tron. It's just got that dark blue line look to it. I found the II arcade on Marketplace down in Kansas City. Had a buddy pick it up for me, and he brought it up when he visited on 4th of July. I think I paid $2.25 for it. These things are basically, unless you're going to mod them, they're just a giant paperweight anymore. Unless you've already got games on them and had them set up before II Arcade went out of business, or if you're going to mod them, that's they're just paperweights. So you can pick them up pretty affordably. What I like about this one is that the shape of the cabinet in the back portion of it here, it's kind of got that Guitar Hero look. See how it kind of comes up at the top there? So just kind of roughly, here's what my plan is. I do have art ordered. Game On Graphics, I believe, is who I ordered it through. It was a special design, so it did cost a little bit more for the artwork. I'm about just shy of $300 for the art, guys. Because it had to be designed for the II arcade. Now there's art out there for arcade one-ups if you want to do an arcade one-up, and it wouldn't cost nearly as much for that art. I'm going to be putting in the 4 speakers in the front panel, just like you would see on the Guitar Hero. And then we'll have our axe, our guitar, hanging down the center is what I think I'm going to do. I'm only going to have one guitar. I have a special amp. It's a pile amp that's actually I'm going to try and get this thing to work so it'll fit actually underneath the deck. So you'll have access to all your controls and the screen display on it. Because you can hook up different items to it as well as Bluetooth. So if I want to, I can Bluetooth my phone to it, use it for like a jukebox if I want. Going to completely rebuild the deck. Going to scrap the old deck. We're going to scrap the PCB in this thing. We're going to keep the monitor. I do have an HDMI board. We're going to replace the top speakers, and there's an amplifier in between the top speakers, a small arcade style amplifier that'll be coming out. Those items are all going to wind up on probably eBay at some point. I don't know. The speakers are kind of junk. I feel like II Arcade had pretty decent sound setup in some of their later models, but especially the gold cabinets. But the early cabinet was not that hot. And then, of course, we've got the artwork coming in. So tonight we are just going to kind of unbox, and I'm going to lay my plan out for you. Okay. So I'm going to pop these off. Again, I hope I'm coming through clear here. If you can't hear me, just let me know. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I did get the marquee in for pole position in the back behind me there. I'll shut this light off real quick. You can see it maybe. Angel Otera did that. It came out great. He had not done one for pole position, and pole position is a little bit different size and a little different than some of the other arcade one-ups. So I had to send him not just the marquee, but the mount to it as well. And he completely built one from scrap for me, based off of those measurements. So we're just going to get right into the meat and bones here. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got. So GTO X40, these are JBL speakers. These are going to go into the top of the II Arcade. These are 4x6. I know that when you look at the II Arcade, the speaker grills are round, but they do put in a 4x6 speaker for some reason. And so just to keep things simple, I decided I would stay with that 4x6. So we've got some instructions, a little installation felt there, some stickers. Oh, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so These are going into the top. These should be pretty good. I think these will have a nice sound to them. They're 120 watt. The amplifier I have will have no issues pushing that. So yeah, pretty excited. Those look great. I'm pleased with them. I'm gonna go ahead and just slide them back in this box for now. I'm hoping to get rid of some of this cardboard tonight too. And so we'll put the cardboard over here. Now, I haven't decided if I am going to light up the speakers on the top, because you know how the Guitar Hero, the original, those speakers would light up and they'd kind of dance with the music. Now, I have just about everything already that I need to do this build. I've been putting it together a little bit at a time. I do have just a few small pieces to pick up still. Okay, so the next is going to be, these are going to be marine speakers. So they're outdoor speakers, so they're built for a more harsh environment. These are max wattage on these, 225 watts, guys. Now, they'll run 75. They'd say the max is 225. I probably won't hit that, but they'll push every bit of 75, and we have 4 of these. These will light up behind this tweeter here. There is an RGB light. I'm working on some things to figure out how to run this, because I didn't realize when I ordered it, it's not your typical flat little RGB plug. It's square and it's got a clip to it, and it doesn't come with any powering items. You know, it's meant to be in a boat. So I've got to do a little bit of modification to the speakers, but I think I have them figured out. And like I said, I've got a few little things left I still need to place my order for. I'm going to leave these boxed up for now. And there are 4 of those, okay? And just so you can get a look at the box here. Well, those are the Club Marine MS65 LB. Okay, so then trash I'll throw over here. In order to install those speakers, you will need a 5-inch hole saw, okay? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put that in the cardboard pile. And I'll put the hole saw over here on the table that I have set up with all my tools as I begin to prepare for this mod. You know, I like to get everything ready ahead of time. I have 2 of these. I probably am only going to need 1. I'm going to build the cabinet, and this is going to go into the base of the cabinet with the cord protruding, so it will look just like a regular outlet coming out. But there's a couple of different things that actually have to be plugged in inside the cabinet. But this way, I'll have my power breaker, as well as, or my surge protector, I should say, built into it, as well as not having to have 6 different cords come sticking out of the thing. And as long as we're talking power, okay, I use these, and this is, I just wanted to show you this. This isn't necessarily for this build specifically, but I use these for all of my arcades, guys. I know a lot of you like the Alexas or what have you. This is a surge protector made by Woods. You can find them on Amazon, usually anywhere from 35 to 40 bucks a piece. Yeah, spendy. But what's cool about them is they have remote controls. So I can push a button and turn on 4 items. 2 of these are constant power. But 4 of these outlets are remote controlled. Again, these are made by Woods. They're on Amazon. They range from 35 to 45 bucks. Definitely something to check out if you're looking into something like that right now. So, put that trash over there. Got a little speaker wire here. That is not the wire I plan to use, but well, actually, I think most of that is actually pretty good wire, so I could use it. But I need wire for testing purposes, making sure that things are working correctly before I plug them all in. Speaking of plugging things in, there we go. This it? Oh. So I had these grills. The speakers I have, guys, they're not exactly what I was expecting. I didn't realize that those grills would have the lights built into them as well as the tweeter on them. So what I originally wanted to do was to mount them behind the front of the panel, and then these over it, and these have, you know, the little hooks that come out and mount in the corners. I thought that would look really cool. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to use these if I use those speakers. So those are probably extras. Now, I had something from DIY. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. So Shane over at DIY set me up with this. If you don't know, DIY Retro Arcades, anytime you need any kind of weird wire or something, buttons, joysticks, things like that, he's an awesome guy, easy to work with, very helpful. So power supply, the II Arcade comes with a 12-volt, 5-amp power supply. Really, that is only going to be used to power the monitor. And that's just, it's too much. So we're going to go with this 12-volt, 3-amp instead. Instead. And then the rest of that doesn't even go to this build. So that's all for something else. So I'm going to set that off to the side. In order to keep things running cool, I'm going to install a couple of fans onto the back. The II Arcade, if you haven't built one or don't have one, it's basically, it's a 2-piece model. You'll have the base, and then you have a countertop version that you mount on top of it. So I've got 2 of these, one for each piece of it. And I'm going to mount these to the outside of it. Well, or actually, they're going to be to the inside with the grill on the outside. I'm hoping. I've got to get a hole saw still, probably about, I'm going to say that's 3-inch there. So I probably need to do like a 2 7/8, maybe 2 5/8 hole saw. Okay, so we've got a couple of those. And what's that come with? Just some information. Um, these are USB powered, so that's nice. It's not another plug, because if you're not careful with some of these projects, you can get into a lot of plugs going on back there. So I'm going to set these down here for now. Let's see what else we got. So next up, this is going to be our HDMI board. That's what a lot of people will call it, or I'm not even going to use the HDMI. I'm actually planning to use the VGA connection. And guys, just to keep these clean and dust free, I'm going to leave them sealed up for now. This is what will mount onto the back of the monitor. The monitors are very, in an II arcade, are very similar to that of an arcade 1-up, except they're a 19-inch monitor. So think of your arcade 1-up monitor. That PCB would come off, and this goes into its place. If you look closely, you can see, you've got the blue with the red over here where the power side goes. These are actually pretty easy to install. Use some two-sided tape and just mount them below or beside the monitor, not on the metal housing. You don't want to short circuit it. So let's talk about the cost of this. So I told you guys the cabinet was $2.25. The larger speakers, I think I picked up on eBay for, I think I got all 4 of them for about $125. The smaller speakers, I don't remember. Don't quote me, but again, I think it was eBay and it was like $50. The VGA board or HDMI board, I don't know, $20 on Amazon. You just type in your model number of your monitor and it'll come up. They're pretty easy to find. Power supply from DIY Retro, I don't know, $10-15. Plus he does have a little bit of shipping, but I had to pick up a few other things anyways. The USB fans were like $10 a piece. This is going to mount on the front of the cabinet, okay? And these move here, they roll or what have you. So they're adjustable. This will mount on the front of the cabinet between the speakers at the top and hold the guitar in place. I do have 2 of these, so if I did decide I wanted to do 2 guitars, I could. I just think to keep it clean and neat and not overcrowded, I think 1 guitar is the better option. So that thing, I don't know, you pick those up pretty cheap. Those guitar hangers are like, I don't know, $10-15. They're not very expensive. Speaking of the guitar, let's take a look at the guitar. Oh, but before we do, well, no, yeah, we'll go ahead. All right, so using an Xbox guitar, eBay. I honestly don't remember, guys. I think, if you're looking at picking one of these up on eBay, get one that's, to make sure you get one that's in clean, good condition. You're probably looking $150, to be honest. These things are getting hard to find. The Wii guitars you can find real easily. But these you cannot find quite as easily. So, yeah, there's my guitar. Guitar Hero is, to me, it's a really fun game. Um, it's something different. It's not really something that I have a lot of nostalgia for, but it is something that I think will be a lot of fun, and so that's kind of why I'm doing this one. Like I said, it's not really something I have nostalgia for, uh, but I do like me some rock music. There's some good songs on this setup, so I enjoy that. So this here, I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this. This is our amp. Okay, so if you're used to modding, or uh, you know what an amp looks like in a typical arcade machine. Well, I went a little bit bigger, just a little bigger. Okay, so we have the pile here. This is PTA66BT. Now, I got this on eBay. I think you can find them on Amazon for about 135 bucks, okay? Now, remember, this is going to mount underneath the control deck. See if I can zoom in on this for you guys here. Well, yeah, there we go. It's going to mount directly under the control deck. You see there, underneath that red strip. Or so is the plan. I think I need to just take the feet off and it'll actually fit perfectly in there. What I do like about this, how are we doing tonight, Brooklyn Menace? Nice to see you here. What I do like about this actually will power 6 channels. Now, I haven't decided for sure how I want to handle this, but that does mean that each speaker can be on its own channel. I mean, I'm not going to overheat this thing. There's no possible way. I'll probably wind up only using 3 channels, I think, though. Because you got to have your left and your right. Well, I don't know for sure. But like I said, I can tune in FM radio on this. I can hook up USB. I've got an SD drive on the front of it. I can Bluetooth my phone to this thing. I can set each channel at a different volume, and then it has a master volume as well. Okay. So I'm really excited about this. I think this thing is just going to rock. So there is the amp. I'm going to get rid of a little bit of trash here. Like it comes with an FM antenna, cheap little remote control. So if I wanted to put it inside the cabinet, or if I decide that it's not going to work underneath the deck, I've got the remote control. I could put it in the cabinet itself. I don't know if it would register it though. I'd probably have to mod it to have an IR sensor outside of the cabinet somewhere, so it would read the remote control. But that wouldn't be too difficult to do. So get that out of our way now. Something else that the II Arcade offered, they came with a plastic bezel. But they also sold a glass screen protector. This says it's tempered. If you should get one of these, it is not tempered. It still works great. It's just not tempered, so know that. I honestly can't believe that they got away with selling it as tempered as long as they did. I mean, somebody that breaks and somebody gets hurt from it, I mean, I could just imagine the lawsuit that would come. Of course, now there is nobody to sue. But yeah, so I do have this. I found this on eBay. Oh, I think it was $50, maybe 60. I'm gonna put this somewhere safe. I can see it sliding off of there. Well, for now, I think it'll be okay here out of the way. Like I said, 50, 60 bucks for that. Again, eBay. I picked up a lot of things on eBay for this. You do have tax on eBay, and a lot of time you'll have shipping as well. Or you can shop around. So now we get down to what's going to power this thing, right? We're running out of stuff here. Well, what's going to run the Guitar Hero? The ultimate plan, I want to put in a PC. I want to use Retro Lizard's hard drive. If you haven't checked out his website, you should just Google Retro Lizards Arcade or something like that. You'll find him. His hard drive is about 150 bucks, and then you buy your computer separate. It has to, it has to meet certain specs to run the hard drive correctly. And I think for probably 200 bucks, maybe three tops, you could have a great PC off of eBay or even Amazon to put that hard drive on. Or he does sell a PC ready to go, plug and play for about 700 bucks, I think. So his build does require Wii guitars, so I would have to switch that over because I've got the Xbox, but that is a plan for later. I thought, well, I'll get this. I'm going to build it. I don't want to put another $600, $500, $700 into this thing until I get it built. Let's see how it turns out. Let's see how much it gets played. How much do I enjoy it? And then we can put in that 700 bucks later. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this thing off of an old Xbox. I chose Xbox One because they're cheap. They're a dime a dozen. A lot of you probably have one sitting in a closet somewhere. Speaking of Xbox, into this month, the Xbox 360 store is shutting down. So if there's any digital media that you ever wanted on your Xbox, I think they've got a few games there that you can't get anywhere else. You better get them quick. I think you got about 10 days. I think it was the 25th. Might have been the 29th that I saw. But that's going to be shutting down. So I'm going to run it off the Xbox. Xboxes are easy to come by. I don't need access to the Xbox to control it. I can control it through the guitar or through the controller. I can get into the settings. I can power it on and off. I think I can even eject the disc if I want with the controller. So we're gonna run it off the Xbox, and we're gonna try that. See how that works. Now I have ordered a. Right now, I've just got some disposable AA's in here, but I have ordered the rechargeable battery and charging pack, the official Xbox ones, for this controller. And then I thought, just to store it out of sight or, out of the way or whatever. I mean, the control deck is going to be flat. There won't be any buttons or joysticks on it. It'll be, I'll probably put a plexiglass on it to protect it, but it's just going to be a vinyl. In fact, you can see back here, leaning up against Centipede, I have a a piece of 1/2 inch material that I plan to use for that. And so yeah, the whole deck is going to go away. But yeah, so I picked up this neat little 3D printed stand to hold my controller, and it can sit up on top, or wherever, or on the control deck. And then I also have a rechargeable battery kit for the guitar. These are getting a little harder to find, especially, with a box and everything. I have not opened this yet, so let's take a look. This looks like it's new. I mean, my USB cable still twist tied. I still have plastic on the what do we got here? Okay, so it looks like the rechargeable batteries, maybe somebody's decided, oh wait, no. So this is your charger, okay? And there is your rechargeable battery. And yeah, this thing looks like it's brand new. eBay, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks, 15 bucks probably for this. Like I said, this was a little bit harder to find. The Xbox charger was pretty easy to find, and that's on order. It should be here tomorrow, along with a couple other little things. What else do we have in here? So, like I said earlier, I plan to use the VGA. We're going to run the other end of this will be, oh, I don't know what you'd call that. So the other end of this will plug into the back of your Xbox, where your typical connection would be right there, right above the HDMI. And then it'll come up to the monitor with the VGA, and then my audio will feed into the amplifier. Pretty simple. I did not have one of these available or laying around, so I picked it up on eBay. It came with everything I needed to play it, power supply and a connection cable with the yellow video line on it, and a handful of games. And I think I paid, I don't know, 75 bucks. I'd say its condition is pretty decent. I mean, I can look into the vents. I can see that it needs to be opened up and probably cleaned a little bit. I may do that in my spare time. And since this is hopefully just a temporary build, I may not even bother. So yeah, come with a few games. Like I said, the only one I plan to use is the Guitar Hero 3. I also have Guitar Hero World Tour. Those actually came with the guitar, not the Xbox. These games, I don't know, guys. I'm not into consoles, so I'll probably wind up just selling these things. I mean, I got Grand Theft Auto here. It's got a $50 price tag on it. I really doubt that's worth 50 bucks anymore, but you never know with some of these old console games. Soccer, I'm sure that's a dime a dozen. Destiny, that actually looks like it might be a fun game to check out. Halo and BioShock 2. I don't know. Like I said, I'll probably wind up putting these things back on eBay just to get a little bit of my investment, or I hate that word, my expense back. And so that's pretty much the bottom of the box here. And that's what we're going to be doing and how we're going to do it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Like I said, I plan to do this just a little bit at a time, when and where I can. I don't want it to be a month-long project. So I'll do a little bit here and a little bit there, and bring you guys into it as we go along. Yeah, and we'll see where we land. Well, I think that's all I've got for tonight. I appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out the channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Don't forget to ring that bell for those notifications. Look forward to this build and look forward to sharing it with you. Have a good night, and don't forget to play until your fingers bleed. Maybe. Oh, and by the way, vote for Pac-Man.
KO.